Hello and welcome to Indian Ask Aussie Answers. I'm Krish.
And I'm Felicity. Today we're discussing formal versus informal communication, especially in the workplace. Let's start with the Australian style, Krish.
Sure, Felicity. I've noticed that Australian workplaces tend to have a more informal and direct communication style. Can you elaborate on that one, please?
In Australia, it's common to use first names, regardless of one's position in the company. This approach fosters a sense of openness and equality.
That's right, Felicity. And especially for our Indian viewers, my suggestion there is please practice calling someone with their first name because it's absolutely new to us. We are not so used to it. So, no matter how old they are, how elder they are, how much difference in the age you have, always start with their first name. David, how to go to McDonald's? Or Andrew, which way is Coles? So always please, I always suggest that try practicing it. It's very new to us, but please practice it. However, in contrast, right, in Indian workplaces, it's more formal. As I was telling you before, titles and the last names are usually used, especially with the superiors, reflecting more hierarchical structure. Another important point I would like to make is referring each other with Mr. In India, I am called as Mr. Krish. Now remember, Krish is my first name, Ravi Patti is my last name. However, I am called as Mr. Krish, but that's not common in Australia. I am generally referred as Krish or Mr. Ravi Patti or Mr. Krish Ravi Patti. However, I'm never ever called as Mr. Krish. Can you explain that for our viewers?
That's right, Krish. Whenever you start referring to someone as Mr. or Mrs., you only follow this with their last name or surname. We don't say Mr. or Mrs. followed by their first name.
So, viewers, as Felicity explained, you never address someone as "Hello, Mr. Peter." Never Mr. and their first name. You never say Mr. Andrew, Mr. David, pleasure to meet you. Never say Mr. and the first name. If you do like to refer someone Mr., you must know their last name. If their name is Peter Dutton, you say Mr. Dutton. Is that Campbell Newman? You say Mr. Newman, but never as Mr. Campbell. Quite a common mistake I keep noticing with our bunch of people. Yeah, so thank you, Felicity. Thank you for that advice.
My pleasure, Krish. Also, many Australian companies have an open door policy, encouraging open communication and accessibility between employees and management.
Look, that's quite different from the norms in India. Although things are changing, this approach is generally more reserved and formal with clear hierarchical lines.
It sounds like the egalitarian approach in Australia is quite a shift from the traditional respect based hierarchy in India. How do these differences impact workplace interactions and collaborations?
In India, as I was saying, more formal approach can sometimes mean more structured interactions and also the decision making process as well. So it's good in a way. However, in Australia, the informal style might lead to a quicker collaboration and quicker decision making process, I guess.
True. The informal communication style here encourages a more collaborative and open work environment. It can lead to more dynamic and fluid team interactions.
However, it's important for those new to Australian workplaces to understand the balance. Being too informal too soon can be misinterpreted.
Absolutely, Krish. Understanding the workplace culture and gradually adapting your communication style is key. What would you say the implications to relationship building in these different environments are?
In India, building professional relationships often involve understanding and respect in the formal hierarchy. It's about establishing the trust within that framework.
In Australia, building relationships often involves being approachable and collaborative. It's more about connecting on a personal level, even in professional settings.
That's an important distinction you made. Adopting to these differing communication styles can significantly impact your workplace experiences and success, I guess.
Definitely. Whether in Australia or India, being observant, respectful, and adaptable to the communication style of your workplace is crucial.
Thank you, Felicity, for those insights. And thank you for the viewers for joining us. And we hope this discussion on formal versus informal communication helps you to navigate your workplace better.
See you next time on Indian Us, Aussie Answers. Remember, effective communication is about adapting while respecting the cultural norms.
ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ తెలుగులో దాన్ని ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయడానికండి, ఫార్మల్ అంటే చాలా స్ట్రక్చర్డ్ అప్రోచ్, ఇన్ఫార్మల్ అంటే క్యాజువల్ అప్రోచ్ అండి. మన భారతదేశంలో ఫార్మల్ అప్రోచ్ హైరార్కీ కరెక్ట్గా ఫాలో అవుతాము. డైరెక్టర్, టీమ్ మేనేజర్, టీమ్ లీడ్, తర్వాత మనం ఉంటాము. ఆ యొక్క హైరార్కీ చాలా కరెక్ట్గా ఫాలో అవుతాము. బట్ హియర్ ఇట్స్ క్వైట్ అన్ ఓపెన్ డోర్ పాలసీ. మీరు మీ యాక్సెస్ ఉంటుంది, మీకు డైరెక్టర్తో కూడా యాక్సెస్ ఉంటుంది, టీమ్ మేనేజర్, టీమ్ లీడ్తో కూడా యాక్సెస్, అంతే యాక్సెస్ అంత సులువుగా ఉంటుంది. సో అండర్స్టాండింగ్ దీస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్స్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. Formal and informal communication very important. Of course, the golden rule and the golden bits in this video you have to understand is, please don't call Mr. Peter or Mr. Andrew. కొంచెం సిల్లీగా ఉంటుంది అది. My job is to make sure that you come easily, you blend into the Australian culture. సో ఆల్వేస్ సే మిస్టర్ అని వాడాల్సి వస్తే ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఫార్మల్. దాన్ని పిలవాలి అంటే హలో మిస్టర్ రావిపాటి అనడం చాలా తక్కువ. క్యాజువల్గా ఇప్పుడు కూడా క్రిష్ హౌ ఆర్ యూ, క్రిష్ వేర్ ఆర్ యూ అంటాము. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఇన్వైటింగ్ మీ ఆన్ టు ద స్టేజ్ టు టాక్ సంథింగ్, then you say something like, may I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Ravi Party onto the stage. So please understand these differences and hopefully they will help you navigating the Australian culture. Thank you. Bye.